So the equation that you're talking about is this one. It says y 4ac minus, is it minus b squared?
Yes.
4 over
4a.
4a over 4a. Let's see. Okay, so let's, what's a, what's 4a is 2, c is negative 2, and then minus b is negative 3 squared over 4a, what's a is 2, like that.
The answer is negative 25 over 8.
Negative 25 over 8. Let's write it to as decimal.
Okay.
Decimal, it's negative
3,125.
Negative 3,125. That's the y value. And then the one I want you to use, the formula, right? The actual formula. This is squared here. This is minus, like that, right? So the x value, you found it to be negative 3 over 4. So you just plug it in. Negative 3 over 4, like that, squared plus 3, negative 3 over 4, like that, minus 2. Right? So this is fine.
That's minus 3.
Where? Oh, sorry, yeah, this one.
So the answer is
positive 11 over 8. Right. So which one is it? Which one is the correct answer? Right?
the one we just used.
The one we just used now. Right?
Yes.
The thing is, it's about getting back to the very same answer that we got. Right? So if we used this negative 25 over 8, would we be able to get this negative 3 over 4? The answer is most likely we would not. Right? Right? We would not be able to get it. Right? Right? So let's stick with the okay, let's stick with this one. Right. Okay, so we found the turning point. So the turning point, when they ask for the turning point, we go, here is the turning point. The turning point is made up of two values, x and y. Negative 3 over 4 and 11 over 8. This is the turning point. Right? Right? If we were to write it as decimals would be negative negative 0.75, right? And what is it? 1,375. Right? That would be it. The turning point tells us where where that curve, where that point where the graph turns is. Right? It tells us a lot of information. So we also have what we call the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts is basically solve for x. That's solve for x. That's how we find the x-intercepts. So we found that this is what, so these values here, the two of them, they would be our x-intercepts. So we have positive 2 and negative 1/2. How would we plot these points? How would we plot this graph? Sorry. So let's draw our x's something like so. Okay, let's draw proper stuff. Yeah, let's just leave it like that first. So now the first thing is we need to know where the x-intercepts are, right? The x-intercepts, we know it's at positive 2 and negative 1/2, right? So if we were to draw it, this one would be, let's say this is our positive 2, right? So this is our negative 1/2. So our graph has to touch here, isn't it?
Yes.
Our graph has to touch here, and then we have so the shape first. Let's start with the shape. Or we can have the turning point. If we do the turning point, it's at negative 0.75. Right? Does it make sense to have this? Right?
No, it's negative 0.75.
Sorry. Just try to plot it for me there. So let's look here. So what's wrong with this one? Is our turning point making sense? You see why it's not making sense? The x value here you said minus b, right?
Yes.
Do you see where this b is minus as well? It's negative. So it's supposed to be minus negative like this. It's gonna be positive, right? And then that was gonna affect our results here for y, right?
Yes.
So y is gonna be completely different for the turning point. So right. Right, so y is gonna be completely different. So here it's not
So would be
negative 25 over 8. Negative 25 over 8. Right? So is I think this is the same answer you got with your formula, ne?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think you can use both of them. So you can use both of them because now with this one we can see where our mistake was. Right? So it was supposed to give us the same answer, right? Negative 28 over 25. Negative 25 over 8. Just like that. Right? So in decimal, we need to write it in decimal. Negative 25 over 8 is negative what? Okay. So negative 3,125. Right? So your turning point is going to be at positive. Turning point is going to be somewhere here. This is 0,75. Right? Your y value is negative 3,125. So here you have a negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Let's say it's going to be somewhere there. Right? That's the turning point. Right? So how do you then draw that graph? So you draw the line of best, you draw what best fits this curve. So, right? So mine is bad, but this is how it would look like. Right? This is how that graph would look like. Right? Do you see how it's a smile? It's a smile because our A is positive. Right? What else? So they would say, so we found the x values here, right? How do you find this y value? Remember, the y value is the y-intercept, isn't it? You already have a y-intercept. Right? You know that the last number is the last number is the y-intercept. Sorry, we're using this formula, not that one. We're using this one for negative 2. So this is your y-intercept, right? So what is the value here? Negative 2. Right? And then now I want you to plot for me this one. Let's say negative x squared plus 2x minus 1. Sorry, not minus 1, plus 1. But I want you to give me separately. Give me the shape. How the shape look like? Is it a smile? Is it a frown? Two.
It's a frown.
It's a frown. Eh? Two. I want you to give me the y-intercept.
It's positive 1.
It's positive 1. 3. I want you to give me the turning point.
Okay.
Then 4. I want you to give me the x-axis, the x values, x-intercept.
Both turning points.
There's one turning point. The turning point has an x and a y. So it's yeah. So
I mean those two, both x and y.
yes, both of them.
Okay, I'm done. Okay.
So the first thing, the shape is a frown.
It's a frown.
Why? Because a is negative, né?
Yes.
So the y-intercept
The y-intercept is 1.
is 1. Right? That's the y-intercept. And then 3, turning point, you're going to do the two formulas, right?
Yes.
So minus 2 over 2a. Sorry, a is negative 1.
Negative 1.
Right? So here you're going to have 1. Isn't it? And then y.
I use this 1 true columns.
Okay.
It's negative.
So yeah, if you put in there, it's gonna. So it's 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1.
Yeah, the answer is positive 2.
The answer is positive 2. Right? So the turning point, right? You give them together. You start with 1 with x. X is 1. Y is 2. And then the y-intercept, the x-intercept. So
The first value for x is negative 0.41.
So basically what you're doing, you're basically solving for x with y equal to 0, né?
Yes.
Okay, plus 2x. You're gonna use quadratic, and then
Yeah,
you're gonna
I used quadratic.
you find the value what and what?
The first one is negative 0.41. The second one is 2.41.
Right, so this is fine. And then then how do you plot this graph?
Okay.
So you're gonna start with your basic axis, né?
Yes.
Like this. Right, and then where are the two values for x? One is here, negative 0.41, like that.
Yes.
One is at, let's say, 2.41, like that. And then what else?
Also have our turning points.
Our turning point is 1 and 2. So x is at 1. Let's say this is at 1. And then y is at 2. So let's do this. Let's say this is the turning point. Right?
Yes.
So your graph, how is the graph gonna look?
It's gonna frown.
It's gonna frown. Do you see how these things correlate?
Yes.
So if you were to draw a graph that was a smile, and you saw that no man, my thing there is negative,
Yeah.
you would start asking questions, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why we have to go through all of these things, just so that we can verify our answer. Let's just say it touches everything.
Okay.
Right? It's failing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's say this is it. Right?
Okay.
And then they say, what is the coordinate here? The y-intercept there. What is it?
The y-intercept is 1.
The y-intercept is 1. Do you see now how simple it is?
Yes.
Okay. So now here's where they know they have you guys by the collar. Right? They know they're gonna put a straight line somewhere here. They're gonna put a straight line somewhere here. Right? They're gonna put a straight line here and say this is y equal to negative 2x plus 1. Right? And then they say find the points of intersection, or find A and B. In this case, A is simple. It's here. Right? Here for B, how do we find this? We are not sure. Let me redraw it properly in a way that doesn't give kind of confusion. Think that we already have both answers. No. Let's say we have something like this. So we have that. So how do we then solve for A and B? So A is here, and then B is there. We need to find. How do we find it?
The point that
Hmm?
with the point that
What points are we given?
it's a straight line.
So we have the equation of the straight line there. They gave us. And then they say we want A and B. A we already know, né? We can tell A from far. X is what at A?
It's one.
No.
Where's A?
X. A is here.
Or X is 0. I thought A was in the
No. This is A here, right? So X is 0 and then Y?
It's 1.
Y is 1, like that, right? And then B, we don't know. We have to calculate, right?
Yes.
What do we know about these points, these 2 points? These 2 points are where the 2 graphs intersect, right?
Yes.
So we know, what do we know? We know the graph, the y for the parabola, and the y for the for the straight line, the line, right? So normally, sometimes they come in this way. They would say this one, the parabola is f, for example, is f of x, right? And then they would say the straight line is g of x, right? And then they would give us something like this. They would say f of x equal to g of x. Then we are confused, right? What this means is the same thing as what I'm showing now. It's the intersect. We're talking about the intersects here. When y is equal to g, when f of x is equal to g, we are talking about intersects. So how do we solve them? Like this. We substitute the equations in. The equation for the straight line is negative 2x plus 1. Y equal to, you know y, we already wrote it. And then the parabola, the equation for the parabola, negative x, it's negative
x squared.
yes, yeah, it's not negative 2. Negative x squared
Plus 2x
plus 2x
plus 1.
plus 1, yes. Then we combine them. Which side do you want to put them? You choose where you want to put them, right? So let's take this one. Let's take this side. Let's take this and move it to the other side. If we move it to the other side, it's gonna be negative x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 2x minus 1. This side is 0. So let's simplify. So x squared is alone there. It's just negative x squared. We have 2x and 2x. They add. They give us 4x. We have 1 plus or 1 minus 1. They give us 0. Right? So this is what we have. How do you want to solve? You can use quadratic. It's fine, because I know that there's we're used to using quadratic, but there's an easier way. Yeah? So you could just factor out x, and then here you'll be left with negative x, right?
Yes.
And then here it's plus 4. like that, right? So this, you would say x is equal to 0 here. This x is equal to the 0, right?
Yes.
Or you put this bracket equal to 0, negative x plus 4 equal to 0, and then you take this x to the other side, let's say 4 is equal to x, just like that. Alright?
Yes.
So you have two values. You have x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 4. Let's look at this. A is the one where x is equal to 0, isn't it?
Yes.
A is the one where x is equal to 0. That means B has to be the one where x is 4. Right?
Yes.
But in this case, the way I drew it doesn't make sense. Right? So the way I drew it, it works like this. The way I drew it, it seems like this graph was this line, this thing was a bit like this. Right?
Okay.
Or let me put it this way, just to make it look better. Can you see now?
Yes.
So right? So that's how it looks like.
Okay.
So here at B, at this correct B now, this would be the B, right?
Yes.
So the x here is 4, and then what about the y? The y, you can use the formula for the straight line and find y.
Okay.
So you know that x is 4, your y was negative 2 minus plus 1 like this, right? And then you put 4 inside negative. So negative 2 times 4 plus 1, that's negative 7.
Yes.
Now it makes sense. Y is negative.
Negative 7.
So B is 4, negative 7.
Negative 7.
A, you know A, that x is 0. You could also find y. Your y would be 1.
1.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I think we're done for today. Just allow me to have a rest,
Okay.
and then by today I will share. I will upload the videos on YouTube and then put them there and then share the link with you. Ne?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.